Hey ladies and gentlemen, Richard Kenobi here, and I am back again for another MLP Season 5 review, and today we have Episode 19, the one where Pinkie Pie knows. And this was a pretty good, decent follow-up to the last week's episode, even though we all know that that was an amazing episode. So yeah, really good. But today's episode was really good too. You know, it finally confirmed something that I've known, and I think you all know was going to happen. So yeah, so if you do not want to know what that is, I suggest you click out and you go watch the episode. So yeah, but anyway, let's get started. So of course this episode starts off where we see Pinkie Pie is making over 569 iced cupcakes. You know, she's trying to beat the record, and then of course, you know, she gets a letter, or no, well, she doesn't get a letter, but one of the people she's helping, you know, she gets a letter and she says, Pinkie, could you stay here and watch the kids? I need to go stack up on our supplies for something special. So, of course, you know, Pinkie Pie, you know, trips and reads the letter in a very funny way, you know, and she scans her eyeballs like this, and then she finds out that Cadence and Shining Armor are having a baby, and immediately I was just so excited because, you know, I've known about this for a while. This was hinted at before Season 5 started. You know, I have a very close source who's a brony who does death battle predictions. He knew about this, so his theory was right. So yeah, so that's pretty much what happens. But then Pinkie Pie says, I can't wait to tell Twilight, but then, you know, the baker says, you know, shh, it's a top secret project. So that means Pinkie Pie can't tell anybody. And then throughout this whole episode, she's just trying so hard to hold it in. You know, she goes through so much shenanigans and has so much funny comedic moments. This is probably Pinkie Pie's funniest episode yet. She's had a lot of funny episodes this season. So yeah, so pretty much, you know, after that, you know, she's just, you know, resisting the urge not to tell her and anybody. And then Rarity hears about, you know, the baby after she tries to get the pacifier away from Gummy. And she says, you know, you shouldn't steal from babies. And Rarity says, what's this about a baby? And Pinkie Pie's like, oh, no, nothing. What baby? I didn't hear nothing about a baby. So, yeah, so then we get that, you know. And then, of course, you know, she's just trying to keep it in. So then she goes to the castle where Twilight announces that 2 special guests are coming over to Ponyville. And then, of course, we find out that they both say it's Shining Armor and Princess Cadence. So, yeah, that's funny. Oh, and Twilight decorated one of the rooms to be the way, you know, Shining Armor used to have his room. She has a comic book, which is an Easter egg to Action Comics #1. She has ants, you know, she has a nice bed, she has a little ball. It's just so funny and adorable. And, of course, Pinkie Pie's still freaking out. You know, then, of course, she leaves by, you know, smashing up and down like a ping pong ball, you know, through the wall. And, you know, they're thinking she's acting weirder than usual. So, yeah, so then she figures out, you know, like, okay, maybe she stays in her room and she says, maybe if I just go to my room and lock myself in until they come, maybe then I won't be able to, I'll be able to resist the urge from telling anybody or any pony. So, of course, before she goes up there, one of the cake deliverers, you know, says, oh, thank goodness I found you. Can you help me? Because, you know, the day before that, Pinkie Pie actually agreed to help him deliver the cakes and the goodies. And she made a pinky promise on it, you know, and it was really funny. And she even predicts, like, what's going to happen. Like, she's able to actually predict that she's going to go crazy from telling people the truth. And, of course, you know, she agrees, well, she has to do it because she's never broken a pinky promise. So, of course, she goes around delivering goodies and trying to avoid her friends. You know, so she's going around, she actually disguises herself as Groucho Marx. She wears the classic sunglasses and nose, and we actually get to see her talk to the Cutie Mark Crusaders. It was really funny. You know, and then she talks to Fluttershy, and then, you know, the glasses are stuck on Fluttershy's tail. And then we actually see this elder-looking version of Fluttershy, you know, wearing the same glasses on, like, and he's like, hello. And that was pretty funny. I like that. And, of course, you know, Pinkie Pie goes around, you know, delivering the cakes. She sends a cake on a beach on water. She is able to use a crossbow to fire a net to deliver the cake to Rarity Shop, and she's going around avoiding everybody she can. And then finally she gets it done, but then when she finally has, you know, time to relax, you know, Gummy's chewing on a piece of paper, and she pulls out an apple from her mane and then eats it, and then she asks Gummy, "What are you eating?" And then she looks at it and she says, "It's the list she helped Twilight with yesterday, and she still has technically 4 more things to do on that list, including, you know, delivering vegetables to the castle," which is why she was talking to Fluttershy a couple moments ago. So, of course, you know, she goes over there. She goes to pretty much, you know, to the school to make balloon animals, and she's really good at making balloon animals. She makes a giraffe, she makes, oh my goodness, she makes a goldfish, she makes a peacock, and she accidentally makes a baby bottle for Scootaloo. You know, it's really funny. And then we actually get to, Featherweight's ask her to make him a baby, you know, a small baby, and then Pinkie Pie's getting in closely, you know, saying, "What's this about that?" And, you know, she's getting suspicious. And then, of course, after that, she goes to help out the mayor clear up some files, and she does this epic thing where she just tosses them, you know, like that, in an epic style. And, of course, the mayor knows about the secret, too. And, you know, she's just going crazy. And then finally, you know, she finishes the other errand, and then lastly, she goes to deliver the vegetables. You know, so it's really funny, and it's crazy, and she's just resisting the urge not to tell them. And there's this moment where, you know, she almost tells them, because before that, I forgot to mention, you know, when she was at the castle in the first place, she almost did tell them, but Rarity said, whoever spoils the surprise that could be greater than the surprise now, you know, they'll be haunted by the guilt. And then she actually sees a phantom of Rarity tell her that, like a reminder, and she even says, "I know a spooky version of Rarity that's in my head, that's probably built up by my imagination." So then she goes to the castle, and then she almost tells them, they all, you know, tell them, "Please, come on, tell us, Pinkie Pie, we're your best friends," you know? And then, of course, she trips out, she sees them all as balloons or something, and it's weird, and she's on top of the golden oak, you know, chandelier, and then just when she's about to tell them, she builds it up like this, and then right when she says, "Princess Cadance and Shining Armor are having," and then Cadance shows up before she could finish, and he says, "A good time with my awesome sister." Then they finally arrive, but because turns out they didn't need to do their errands, so they got there early. And then Cadance tells, you know, he figures out that, you know, Pinkie Pie knows about it, you know, because she must have accidentally gotten the scroll. And then, you know, he's surprised that she was able to keep it a secret for this long. So, of course, you know, he tells her just keep it a secret for a little while longer, you know, until then. And, of course, you know, Cadance sees the room and he goes crazy. He has this adorable little moment with Twilight. So then Rainbow Dash is pulling a Goku when she's hungry. You can hear her stomach ground. She wants to get some hay burgers. So then, of course, you know, they see there's a statue with the scroll in it, and they're going to be playing a scavenger hunt, and they have to solve riddles, which, by the way, are easy. I won't spoil what the riddles are, but let's just say they go to the school, they go to the bakery, they go to the birth certificate place, and, of course, lastly, they go to a manger store, which, yeah. So, yeah, bottom line, they figure it out, and then they go back to the bakery, you know, and then they get the prize, and then, of course, that's where they're about to tell, you know, Twilight what's going on, and then, you know, he tells her, "We're having a baby," you know, and they have this little awesome cake with the baby. It's baby themed. It's so adorable. And then Twilight's freaking out. You know, she's gonna be an ant. And then Pinkie Pie explodes. You know, she's going crazy all around. She's happy for Twilight. It's really good. And then she combusts into cubes, and she says, "Go Pinkie." It was really funny. I like that. And of course, you know, they all celebrate this wonderful occasionous moment, And then, you know, of course, Pinkie talks to the mayor, and the mayor says, man, Pinkie, you managed to, well, Cadence, actually, I'm sorry. So, yeah, Cadence tells them, Pinkie, you know, like, good job, I'm surprised you were able to keep the secret. Was it as hard was it pretty much hard to keep the secret? And Pinkie's all like, no, it was a piece of cake. And that's ironic because she's getting a piece of cake. And then right before the credits end, you see Pinkie, she's saying, and then it ends. So, overall, really, really good episode. You know, I've been waiting for them to announce this, you know, because it was going to happen. And yes, you know, I knew about it. I didn't want to spoil it. But, yeah, overall, great episode. Really good. You know, this was a really good follow-up to last week's episode, which was amazing, you know, and I like, finally, we're going to get, Twilight's going to be an ant, you know, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Now, for those of you wondering, is this episode going to come in Season 6? No, it's actually going to come next month. I won't say what date, but you'll know when it will come. So, yeah, guys, overall, great Pinkie Pie episode. Really excited that Cadence and, you know, Shining Armor finally are having a baby. We're going to get introduced to him, her, sorry. You know, and, you know, Twilight's going to be an ant. You know, Pinkie Pie had so much coming. I didn't even mention all of Pinkie Pie's, you know, funny face, and she did. You know, there was so many Easter eggs. There was even a Roger Rabbit Easter egg. There was a Superman Easter egg. There was a lot of Easter eggs in this, and that was really good. You know, really good stuff. The comedy was great. It was just so good, you know, to try and see Pinkie Pie hold in the truth because she has problems keeping secrets for this long. So, yeah, guys, overall, great episode. My final thoughts, I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. Really, really great. You know, I'm loving Season 5 more and more and more. It's literally the best season so far. So, yeah, guys, if you enjoyed my review for MLP Season 5, Episode 19, the one where Pinkie Pie knows, then please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And until then, fellow bronies and Pekka sisters, this is Richard Kenobi saying, be 20% cooler. Later, guys.